From The National, this is Trending Middle East. I'm Yasmin Al-Taji. It's Wednesday, May 7th. Here are today's headlines. International NGOs are boycotting an expanded Israeli offensive in Gaza. The UN is among organizations who say they will not be complicit in military action. That comes after an announcement of plans by Israel to push Gazans further south in the Strip. The UN said the plan, quote, contravenes fundamental humanitarian principles, unquote, and puts people's lives at risk. The National's AlTaher reports.
Gaza, of course, has not seen a single drop of assistance coming in since March 2nd, which means a total blockade on food, on water, on medical kits, and fuel.
Israel announced this week it's planning to push the entire population of Gaza to a so-called safe zone in the south of the enclave. The zone will be created over an area of between 50 and 70 square kilometers near Egypt's border with Gaza, it said. Sources told The National that as part of this plan, Israel will distribute so little humanitarian aid that many Palestinians might opt to leave the territory.
They are hoping that they're going to exert enough pressure on Israel to stop this plan from taking place. After Israel's announcement of plans to fully take over Gaza, Hamas has said there is no point in talking about a ceasefire anymore.
Israel expects Palestinians from across the enclave to rush to the safe zone to escape hunger and intensifying military operations, sources said. Syrian leader Ahmad Al Shara is set to meet French President Emmanuel Macron in Paris today. It's his first trip to Europe, and it comes during new outbreaks of sectarian violence under foreign pressure to maintain an inclusive society. The French presidency said Mr. Macron will reaffirm France's support for the construction of a, quote, free, stable, and sovereign Syria that respects all the components of the Syrian society, unquote.
This visit will be closely watched because it will be the first made by Ahmad Al Shara to a Western country.
The National's Sunniva reports.
It was also long expected because President Emmanuel Macron first extended an invitation to the Syrian president back in February, though there was some delay because of the important sectarian killings that took place in Syria in March. France was among the first European countries to dispatch its foreign minister to Damascus after the fall of the Assad regime, and Paris has also highlighted that justice and the rule of law in today's Syria is very important.
The National understands that France is ready to announce that its new ambassador to Syria will be Jean-Baptiste Favre, an Arabic-speaking diplomat who this week ended his mandate as ambassador to Qatar.
Behind the scenes, France has been working to re-establish diplomatic ties with Syria. I have sources that have told me that a new ambassador to Syria will be announced soon. And all these diplomatic engagements show just how keen France is to re-engage with Syria, which it views as a key partner to stabilize the Middle East. It's important for the EU because it fears new waves of migrants coming from the region, which had happened during the first years of the Syrian civil war about 10 years ago. And that had fueled the rise of Europe's far right, which is a phenomenon we still feel the consequences of today.
France was one of the first European countries to send its foreign minister to Damascus after the fall of former Syrian President Bashar al-Assad last December. Paris has since been working on reopening its embassy. It was shut in 2012 as many Western states cut off ties with Assad over his repression of anti-government protests. The Israeli military says it has attacked Houthi targets in Yemen, including the airport in Sanaa and several major power stations in the capital area. That's a day after it hit the country's port of Hodeidah. These attacks were in response to a Houthi missile that landed near Israel's main airport over the weekend. The rebel group yesterday said 4 people were killed and 39 wounded in the Israeli airstrikes on the port on Monday. The Israeli army said in a statement that it attacked what it called Houthi terrorist targets in Hodeidah and its vicinity. A Houthi source told The National that it'll continue to support Gaza, Lebanon, and Syria, and continue with its ban on Israeli airspace. That's all for this morning's headlines. You can get these stories and follow live updates at our site. Yasmin Al-Taji, The National.